thought our goalie was really good when he needed to be. I liked Carter Verhaeghe and Rodriguez this game. I thought those two guys, there's some good chemistry there. I think Evan Rodriguez has put together 3 really, really good games. We moved him into the middle. And then I think what's important with the 4 forwards, well, the 3 that possibly could have played tonight, but the guys that are out of the lineup, I think the players that played took the game seriously. There's not a lot of movement for us in the standings. You never know what's going to happen with the other games, but and we are kind of winding up for the playoffs. Buffalo's 8-2 coming into this game. They've won 8 of their last 10 games, and they got lots of offense. So I liked how serious the guys were. It wasn't a masterpiece by any means, but they took their job seriously tonight. I like the professionalism.
How much of a boost did Jonah provide just with the physicality, the fight? It seems like the bench really got fired up.
Well, first of all, he's a tank of a man. You run into him, you're going to feel it. And I mean, he's been a very impactful player here for about a month with our injuries. He's kept the game in a peaceful manner a lot of nights because he's pretty well respected in the league.
I mean, how good was that empty net goal in the day off for Carter Verhaeghe? Because aside from the goal, it just looked like he was a bit more calmer out there.
I don't know. I think I would take the day off over the goal because he's a guy who scored a whole bunch. But I think having a day off, this has been heavy for everybody. And there are some guys that played tonight that I wouldn't think, it wasn't their best game. And I think that's all it is. They got a lot of miles stuck up on them now. So we are going to try to be mindful of that. We're staying off the ice on the off days, almost like a playoff format. But Carter just looked like he was a little bit more rested and could skate the way he skates.
You talked about Jesse going to the net, and he gets that. How about that goal? I mean, it just he didn't need to do it. But
he's a very interesting player. I think he's big. Clearly, he's not afraid to hit. He's had a whole bunch of them, but not running around for it. He's playing the game as well. There's some offensive instinct in him. We believe that there's an impactful player there.
Obviously, missing a lot of your big shootout guys tonight, but Anton's no stranger to that. Just him being the lead dog out there for you, and that's nice. The confidence.
Well, that part's easy, right? Anybody would pick that. The interesting one is because we've had so much success on our shootouts, we have no idea what 4 through 6 look like. Really, I mean, so that's Mackie Samoskiewicz's first shootout. And you would think we've had a whole bunch of them this year that he would get out there, but we rarely get through it. So I love the move. I know he didn't score, but all you're looking for their first time is that they look comfortable, that they're going to try to apply something. So that gives us kind of an idea of where to go in the future. And we got to 4, so we didn't get to see Marchand or Verhaeghe or Boquist. It's been tough being the 4th guy on the shootout for us.
Save it for the playoffs.
Exactly. Put all our money on that, yeah.
With some of the bodies you have out, you've gone a couple looks at guys that were in Charlotte, like Puljujarvi,
yep.
Like Magna. Just
happy with all of them. Magna, for me, is a guy that I wouldn't have known, but Sylvain Lefebvre was high on, and he can adapt his game to the way that we play. As a matter of fact, I think it's easier for him. So that's a positive. Puljujarvi's the interesting one because he wasn't really part of our organization at the start and came in and is now on the radar. Asplund has been very, very consistent with his game, so we're excited about that as well. Understanding what your depth is. And we actually talked about that before the game. Our game 3 through 5 lineup in the final 2 years ago, the number of players that didn't start on our team or were in the American League that came in that played in the biggest time of year. And in game 3, so I think we had Whitey and Eric Stahl, somebody else. Lombo was playing in the 3-hole, Cousins was playing in the 2-hole, and Anthony Duclair was playing on the first line. And we won that game. And we won it in overtime. So that idea, all these guys, the depth is critical because you're going to lose bodies.
And you look at Detroit, you come home with a 5-game losing streak. I know you like the way you all play,
yeah.
But to feel good now with a 3-game
it's
winning
good.
Streak.
Well, I don't think that it doesn't feel the same. But what is good is your off days are a little bit more relaxed for the players. They can recover. If it stretches out more, well, I'm pretty honest about what I say after a game, whether I like it or don't. If I come out and when I was saying I'm liking our game, I'm not trying to pump their tires to try to keep the belief. Kind of have a pretty good idea of what we are. The game is right. Everybody understood that. But it is good for these guys. Saturday, they get the Sunday off. It's a relaxed atmosphere. They recover faster. And then fittingly, we'll finish the season on back-to-back.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.